Is that the Die Rise retrospective from Mr. Dustsmith Place?
My hands are up, dude.
Worst Treyarch Zombies map? Oh my god. This man said worse than Transit. I don't believe for a single second that Die Rise is worse than Transit. For a single second. I believe that Transit has got to be way worse.
Let's get it, baby.
Well, here we are.
Woo!
Die Rise.
He's back. He's
So
back.
I want you to imagine. It's January
Yes.
of 2013, and you've been playing nothing but Transit for 3 months. That's
I wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy. I'm gonna play Transit for 3 months straight just to get Die Rise. Oh my god, honestly, that's gotta be the worst sin I've ever heard in
it. That's all the context you need. So,
Yeah,
welcome
that
back
really
to
is.
Zombies Retrospective. Today we're looking at Die Rise, a map that has
Die
always
Rise,
managed to dodge criticism by hiding behind the monumentally disastrous shadow.
This man, I have some news. I have 1v1'd against Adam on Town Grief. I have the footage. I'm not even joking right now. I'm being 100% serious.
Transit. Today, however,
Don't be
we aim
surprised.
to tear that wall down. And I'm different towards Die Rise that I'm not
It's
even really
such a-
excited to tear this one down. It's something
You should have played the clip, chat. You guys remember from my Transit solo Easter egg video?
I don't even want to do a Die Rise retrospective. I'll just not do that episode and pretend like it doesn't exist.
You should have played the clip where he's like, guys, what if I just don't do the Die Rise retrospective? Oh, dude, that would have been hilarious. Dude, I love
that I
clip.
have to do, but I'm not looking forward to it with the passion that I had for Transit. With a
Damn,
single word,
that's
I would
so
describe
interesting
Die
to
Rise
me.
as simply unappetizing. It's
Wow.
a map that isn't quite
My
technically
boy said,
as
nah,
good
that
as
ain't
Transit,
scrumptious.
but
bro.
has so few interesting features and just so little of anything, I'm genuinely hard-pressed to really feel a whole lot of anything from Die Rise.
Like, I hate how bad that description is, but it's so true. There's just nothing with this map. It's something, but it really is nothing at the same time.
Die Rise brought the trample steam and Sliquifire, but really failed to deliver with anything new and exciting beyond that.
I'm in the
It's
UK,
generally
so
a
if I
chore
like-
and solo,
I can only tell you as a Zombies player how many times I've heard that statement.
that's special. Having less to
That is-
offer than
yeah.
Even Moon, it feels more
Yeah.
like a Black Ops 1 map than a fully fleshed out Black Ops 2 map, which is shocking because on
Mm-hmm. I
one
could
side
agree
of
with that.
Die Rise you have Transit, and while a failure, it was at least an impressive risk that the developers took. And then on the other hand of the spectrum, you have Buried, which took less big
Buried
risks,
was nuts.
but introduced tons of small new features.
Buried was
and
where it was at.
overall a huge success.
Buried was
and
where it
while
was
those
at.
two maps had very different outcomes, I think they both stand above Die Rise because they at least tried to innovate. But with the Transit Crew trio, Die Rise just kind of feels
I
like the
don't
forgettable
know.
middle.
I could agree with that because, chat, there is one map in all of Call of Duty Zombies that is complete filler in the storyline, and it is Die Rise. It has no reason to exist. Like, in the cutscene for this map, they literally, the devs at Treyarch are like, I don't know how the fuck they're gonna go to China and go to fucking Die Rise, so let's just teleport their asses. It made no sense. And I don't get
Dive
it.
a little deeper. Where Transit found expansiveness
verticality.
through
Fuck
lateral
that word.
space, Die Rise
Fuck you,
actually plays
verticality.
on a similar concept, but with
Love
height.
you, Adam.
Where Transit
Mwah.
uses a
Go
bus
off.
to move you around, Die Rise uses
Where
elevators.
am I?
And even in just that alone,
Die Rise summed up in 3 words. Where am
core
I?
feature uses a similar concept, but the bus achieves a much greater feeling of expansiveness than sitting in a grayish-brown elevator shaft looking at nothing.
It's
And the problem
unfortunately
is
the
worse than
truth.
just the movement system,
Yeah.
as there's a lot of
The movement
time
system
where you
is
simply
trash.
don't even feel the. It just feels like if you wanted to make a map feel tall, you should have more views, like everywhere.
I
And
agree.
those
I
views
agree
shouldn't
with
be
this. It should be
obstructed.
like
It just
High
feels like Die
Rise,
Rise
the
doesn't even come
multiplayer
close
map.
to-
Wait,
and
wait,
so-
High Rise and Die Rise? Is that why they did it? I never even understood that.
But not only does it fail its original goal, I think it also impedes gameplay. The elevators on Die Rise are a huge problem.
Fucking
See, for the
dog
second time
shit.
in a row,
And then the
we are forced to
liquefier
wait
can
for an
fuck you.
uncontrolled transit. And while the bus was annoying, at least you had
This
the
man
choice
has
to
never
take
played
it.
Die
On Die
Rise,
Rise,
bro.
players are forced to wait for perks,
Oh, that boy
pack a
dead.
punch.
That's the other thing, chat. Just look at this screenshot, right? Do you ever think that you will revive that man when you are playing the map Die Rise? Absolutely not.
And what is only more infuriating is that they almost nailed it. There is a buildable on the map, the elevator key. You insert it into an elevator and it
7
makes it
months
come
pod
straight
you.
to you.
Sucks,
Yet
dude.
sadly,
Thank you
it's
so
a
much,
single-use item. So
Realistically,
realistically, this could
like Treyarch is like, oh, when you put in a key, you actually don't get it back. Motherfucker, what kind of keys are you using?
times it almost feels too easy. From spawn, you can make it to power or the box by only opening a single door.
That's so fucking crazy to think about. That's so right. Verrucht is like 5 doors to power. What were they thinking?
And I don't really think the trample steam is enough to fix.
That's me? Oh, this is from his elevator gameplay. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I thought this was like a 2015 video. Like,
And they could've
no,
worked
he's
something
gonna
like
put one
Wonder
eye
Shoes.
down.
But really,
He's
there's
gonna
just
do
not
it.
enough places where they work to make up for this
know he's gonna-
issue. There's also smaller things that impede this map. There's no way to mitigate fall damage, and to this day, I still don't trust that the elevator shaft will not randomly kill me. I don't know if it's buggy or glitchy, but
Adam felt so sorry. He looks like he's a fucking ant down there in this frame, dude.
have died unfairly from this many times. And then obviously you've got the PhD troll. And I mean, understanding that
Oh
this
my,
is a game.
dude, this is like, if you could pinpoint one specific reason why Jimmy Zielinski got fired, dun, dun, da, da, da. That's probably it.
Game which likes to troll you, I'm actually pretty unforgiving about the PhD teams. 3 locations. You got the main spawn,
Oh my
which is
God,
fine.
like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I hate how this is the main box. This shit's not even on the same floors. Even the mystery box on Die Rise doesn't want to be on the map.
Then you've got the other 2, which are so illogically
Oh my
laid
God.
out. This map seriously
I
makes
know,
me
why
want
is there
to
one
drink
up there?
top spot, a tiny insignificant corner with no purpose, and it's quite expensive to
Oh, I
leave.
know,
The box
where-
spawns
like,
on Die Rise
whoever
are so
goes to
bad,
this
I
room,
can
ever.
hardly even be bothered to hit it, knowing that the AN94 exists.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Die Rise is actually the first map in zombies history with good wall weapons, and this would actually go on to start a real trend in zombies. And while I loved it at the time, looking back, I'm ultimately
Bro, you tell me how bringing an MP40 against the Panzer on round 8 goes. You tell me.
You've
bro.
got the
You fucking tell
PDW,
me.
which is a fantastic.
PDW, imagine if you had the
SMG.
AN, bro.
The SMU,
That would be
a
nuts.
super fun sniper.
You did not just say SMU. You did not just say SMU, Patrice.
Fantastic point SMG, the SMU.
Patrice!
The SVU is really fun and useful, but
He
not
says
quite
it.
as good.
Okay, dude, I swear to God, he's doing this for me, dude. He's doing this shit on purpose. He says it correctly here. Then why did you say SMU?
Now, credit where credit is due.
Coming
the
at you.
rooftop is the most gorgeous area in all of Black Ops 2. It has a beautiful sunset skyline with nice bright features like the
The
dragon
skybox
and
is
large
pretty cool.
buildings in the
It's
distance.
okay.
But that's
But it
pretty
could be
much
better.
it. The overall color palette of Die Rise is like vomit, but with a little bit of rainbow added in because the person was eating purple Skittles or something. Bad analogy.
I think that's a really good analogy. Like, it's probably 100% representative of what Zelensky did. Dude, wouldn't it have been so sick if you could just, like, trample steam onto this burned part of the building? And then, like, trample steam back. Like, it would have been sick if you... Chat, imagine this. It would have been sick if you had to build the trample steam, right? And then you place it down everywhere, but you can place it down infinitely at the spots it could go. It would have been the perfect parkour map. They're so dumb for not thinking that, bro.
Think about all that wasted space. Working up, the very bottom floor with
very
the
true.
Sliquefier build is totally useless. There's a whole maze back there that serves No
Literally
purpose.
nothing,
Same goes for
yes.
the next floor
Other
up.
than the
It's basically just an
AK-74U.
area to turn on power,
Literally,
build the
literally no ever reason to go here other than the AK-74U.
The second top floor, which is completely useless. Like, it could not exist,
They have
and the
two
map would
useless
lose
floors.
nothing. And really, the entire second, weighing in at around 21 Nocturne
Ooh.
Totens.
He came in early. It's wild to think that Die Rise, a map about literal skyscrapers, is only 21 Nocturne Totens.
Die Rise lacks innovation, and this is made nowhere more apparent than the boss round, which are literally just a rehash of rehashed Nova Crawlers.
And then Alpha Omega rehashed the rehash of the rehash of
An insult to my intelligence to call these things jumping jacks, as though giving it a new name and the ability to jump makes them something new. Okay, Kino, 5,
man, I have to
Moon.
die.
It felt old on Moon. We did not need to see these things again.
My man's putting them in this place right now.
It's got an incredibly bland Easter egg that literally doesn't even need to exist, as it serves no progression to the storyline. You could just skip Die Rise, go straight to Buried, and really you'd have a complete understanding of what has happened.
Oh my god, Die Rise is such a piece of shit.
Die Rise just doesn't really bring anything new of value to zombies.
High
Oh, wait, that's
maintenance.
right. The new perk, Who's Who, which is almost more of a detriment than an actual aid as a perk. So, if you need
dude,
reminding,
no.
when you down with Who's Who, it spawns you with nothing. In solo, you down and are then
I love how I've heard the word nothing more in the Transit and the Die Rise retrospective. I love that.
circle trading, and if you survive long enough, you then go back into your player.
I fucking
Down in
hate
that
this.
sequence, however, and it's a game over. Like what kind of risk reward is that? But generally, it takes so long to build that it's not really all that worth it. Building it in solo is just nothing but waiting for elevators. It's
Gotta look up a guy, Patrick. Motherfucker, you ever heard of part switching? People.
cool,
he
but
going to-
not the
he's
most
gonna
helpful.
do it?
We do,
Oh,
however,
he
at
did
least
it.
have
He was
the
doing it.
Cyclifier. Honestly, this is
Huh?
the
Prove me wrong.
saving
Let's
grace
go.
of Die Rise. The Cyclifier is one of the coolest wonder weapons ever added to zombies.
It's gotta be the
First of
truth,
all,
yes.
it looks great. It's
It does
wacky
look
and
cool.
shoots. The goop it shoots is slippery to players, so you have to be smart with it or else you can be sent flying off the map. This balances out the crazy powerful nature of it and really shows a glimpse of developmental genius in a map that is otherwise seriously lacking it. The
Yep.
Cyclifier is great and really is
Right.
one of the only things that holds Die Rise up. I think from an architectural standpoint, Die Rise did manage to be pretty smart. Think about how many places there are where one building can reach the other via the trample steam.
Like, chat, what is this? Who at Treyarch Studios looked at this top portion of carpet and was like, y'all, this is it?
There is one other significant area where Die Rise actually manages to hit something right. Die Rise is probably one of the best introductory maps to high round attempts and speedrunning.
He just said that, bro, and it took me like 15 fucking attempts to hit round 100.
Die Rise provides players with high round camping and training strategies, and this is what makes it so excellent. There's not really any map before Die Rise where getting to round 50 is as easy, but
okay, that's round 50. You ever use the wave gun, motherfucker? You ever use the thunder gun, motherfucker? This map, 50 plus, can suck my cock.
And so to finish this video up, I want to take it back to my first analogy of Black Ops 2. Every single map serves a purpose. While Die Rise doesn't hit much right, it does at least add something to the whole game that without it, Black Ops 2 would be less.
Chat, I'm just thinking about it. Wouldn't Die Rise just be so crazy if it had that trample steam idea? Like, bro, come on, y'all. You gotta tell me it was a good ass idea. Imagine, like, if it was like the regular map and then you put the trample scenes everywhere and it just expands and there's like new buildings and shit. Bro, Treyarch, fucking hire me already.
Black Ops 1 wouldn't look a whole lot different without Ascension or Shangri-La. There would still be an easy training map, a cool Easter egg, or a tight, challenging experience from Kino 5 and Moon. I mean, even take away Gorog
damn,
Krovi
it's so-
from Black
What'd
Ops
you-
3.
what'd you say about
Radical,
Gorog
I
Krovi?
know. And while you do lose a really good map, Black Ops 3 as a whole isn't all that less complete. Sure, again, a great map is gone.
Motherfucker, don't you dare say anything about GK, motherfucker. Oh, I'm coming after you, dude.
But you've got 3 other giant quest maps with those characters, deep storyline, and Easter eggs. But as I've said, every single Black Ops 2 map provides something different. I think it's certainly possible to find enjoyment in Die Rise, but it takes a lot of patience
Roman,
and effort.
Roman,
You shouldn't have to force your enjoyment for a map to be good.
Roman,
Same time, but in the end, fell flat on its face.
Roman.
My final
I'm
rating for
coming
Die
after
Rise
you.
is a 4.1 out of 10.
Bro, I thought it would have hit C tier for sure. 4.1? This motherfucker failed the test. The teacher came back and said, no, you failed.